Okay, so I'm sorry I messed up solving the problem before, but I'll try to make it better this time. So again, you need to remember that you're going to have the horizontal asymptote at x is -2, and the vertical asymptote at y equals -2, and at x equals 3 is the vertical asymptote. So we know that the shape should be, so the form of the rational function has to be one single fraction. It can't have any pluses or anything to the side. That's where I messed up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have an x on the top, and you're going to need to have an x on the bottom, and we're going to need to account for the vertical asymptote first. So we know the x equals 3 is a non-permissible value, so that's why you'd have x minus 3 on the bottom as a roots. And then we also know that since -2 is the horizontal asymptote, we're going to need to put a -2 in front of the x. Hopefully you remember that from when I taught you, so hopefully I don't need to explain that. If I do, just let me know after I send this to you. So we have the -2x and the x minus 3. So this should account for the horizontal asymptote and the vertical asymptote. But now we need to actually make it so that the graph crosses the point that we're given. And the point that we're given is 0, -3. So we need it so then when you plug in 0 for x, your output is -3. So to do that, we're going to add a constant in the numerator. So let's add a constant c. So you always do your constant in the numerator. You could do it in the denominator, but it's easier if you do it in the numerator. And you can't have it on the outside like the way we did it earlier, because then it messes up the asymptotes. So let's solve for it now. So if you plug in 0 for x, you would have f of 0 is equal to -3, which is equal to -2 times 0 plus c divided by 0 minus 3. So then you would have -3 is equal to c over -3. So if you multiply both sides by -3, you would get 9 equals c. So from there, you get c is equal to 9. So then you have f of x is equal to -2x plus 9 divided by x minus 3. And we need to account for the whole. So we're going to multiply the top and bottom by x, because the whole is at x equals 0. So that's how you solve it. I'm really sorry about this whole mishap, and yeah, hopefully this makes sense. And if it doesn't, the next time we meet, I'll explain to you more in depth. But that's the correct answer.